I see this big deal about hitting level 100. We had the race to level 100. A lot of content creators are hitting level 100, but I think it is the complete wrong thing to be focusing on for most players. And I do want to say, in the beginning, if people see this title, they see this thumbnail, they're a hardcore grinder, they have a Winter Soldier moment here. This is an opinion. This is my opinion, and I think I'm speaking for most players. I am not speaking to you. If you enjoy grinding and you're willing to put in the time to do it this way, by all means. If you find enjoyment in pushing super hard versions of Nightmare Sigils at a very accelerated pace, talking like a weekend, by all means. That is fun for you. Go do you. That is totally fine. But I want to speak to the majority of players here because I think a lot of them look to content creators to learn from them. That is why a lot of content creators are pushing so fast, is because they want to have that edge over the average player. Then they can be able to make guides and make videos so they accelerate their progress, skip ahead of everyone. They don't do that because they want to. They do it because they know that that's going to make them the best videos, which gets them the most views. So it becomes a cycle there. But then it also just kind of perpetuates this idea of, oh, everyone's kind of in the 90s to 100s already, super fast. For most people, that is not a priority. People are going to be seeing that potentially. Maybe not everyone. Maybe a few people are. Maybe no one is. Maybe I'm just completely off base here. But they're going to be seeing that so many people are pushing these really high levels really fast. That's okay, I need to push these levels because look at all these other people that are prioritizing being this high level. I just want to give my perspective on why I don't think it's worth it. Yes, at the end of the day, we're all trying to hit a level 100 and we're all going to eventually get there. And there's a ton of benefits to hitting level 100, like I mentioned earlier, pushing really hard content. The benefits are not worth the effort. And there's a lot of other things that we can be gaining that give real benefits that are actually giving you good progress, especially if you want to actually meaningfully push and make your character stronger instead of paying like super casual, like, an hour a day or whatever, that I think a lot of players are actually going to be. That's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want to make this a full casual video. I think this concept applies to the super casual and a person that's meaningfully trying to make progress on the game, but this does not apply to the 0.001% that want to push the ultra high versions of the game super fast because it's already been solved. Being able to push to level 100 is not difficult by any means. It's only difficult in the sense that, are you willing to sit in a party of 4 people, 3 to 4 people, go into Champion's Demise over and over and over again to then eventually hit level 100. Right now, from level 76 to level 77, that is 9.8 million XP. To give you an idea, level 50, it was like level 50 to 51. That was 2 million XP. Look at the massive exponential curve here. That is the experience graph to be able to make meaningful progress on your level. Yes, you get an absolute ton of benefits from your Paragon board, but I think what's going to end up happening, I like level 70-ish. You get enough Paragon to where you can make a pretty meaningful dent into your build. It's going to take so much experience to keep going on that I think there's all these other things you can be prioritizing to make good progress and not just be sitting there going into Champion's Demise over and over and over again. What are those things? First thing is going to be the concept of gear and how it is power scaled. So I just want to give you guys an example. So we have me. I'm level 76. I ended up wanting to slow down. Why I wanted to slow down is because just having this kind of realization about how the gearing system works. So notice my item level power here. I'm level 76. We got 730, got 699. This is kind of an older piece, but the example of like 748, 818, over here, 808, 733. I think I've kind of given you a vibe of my item power for my pieces of gear here. Now let's take a comparison of this versus Rob, who is a barbarian that is level 100, hardcore grinder. I believe the first level 100 non-hardcore on the server, was also the only level 100 on the closed beta secret access thing that only a few content creators were able to get into. So this guy is a hardcore blaster and pushes super far ahead of everyone. Let's look at the item power of his gear. So here's one example. Here's his headpiece, 752. Then we have 777, all very in line. We had 790 here, and then we got a 803. All examples, I have multiple pieces that technically have a higher item level than him. If we look at his actual stats in game, you'll actually see a pretty meaningful difference between him and me. Right now, he has 7,000 armor and 8,000 life versus my 4,000 life and 6,000 armor. And that is going to be the difference between Paragon points. So yes, there is a ton of benefit there when it comes to power going forward. When it comes to the actual gear that we're dropping, we are dropping very similar gear. If anything, I've gotten higher, a few pieces of item level gear that are even better than his when it comes to the item level power specifically. He's also farmed a lot harder, so he has a lot more potential to get like the perfect rolls and the higher versions of the perfect rolls and stuff like that. So that is one of the many reasons why he is so much stronger than me. But gear-wise, we're pretty on par. You know, at least on the item potential. Then it's RNG from there, but at least the item potential is the same. It's not like a massive disparity there. So that's one aspect of why I think pushing level 100 is just not that worth it. And then the next thing is all the other things that we potentially could be losing out on, or at least not prioritizing, where we have all of these quests to do in every area. We have all of this renown to do, all these dungeons to do, all of these different things that we could be hitting to be able to build the renown. All of these things are getting missed out on. I think a lot of people did to hit 100 super fast is that they just went here, they went to Champion's Demise, they farmed this over and over again, hit 100, and then started to do all these other things. But for most people, this is just not fun, first of all, and there's a lot of other benefits that you're already going to be gaining way before then. And trying to make it to where people are not so stressed out about hitting level 100. I think there's way more to this game than rushing to 100 as soon as possible. And I'm not saying that the content creators that have done this are wrong or bad or anything. I just want to speak to the most people that you can make meaningful progress and push through this game and get a ton of stuff done without needing to do this. And it is just not something that should be on your radar at all. Worry about this later. Like there's so many other better things to prioritize. One other thing that I think is really worth it to prioritize is going to be the Hell Tide and getting that. You can see that he prioritized that too because all of his gear is rank 5. The only way to ever do that is to prioritize the Hell Tide and get the resources from here. There's all the renown to do. The gear is the same level anyway. Then you also have the Hell Tides to do. You have all the quests to do. So basically, you do all that, you're going to be way stronger if you get all that stuff done. And everything that you're doing is giving you XP anyway. So you don't need to sit there and grind away in Champion's Demise doing that. That is just not fun, and I think that defeats the purpose of these games. Like, I played multiple Diablo games now where it's like people find the most efficient way to farm XP, and that's it. And it's so boring. Like, Diablo Immortal became everyone running in a circle, going around and killing mobs until they were finished. In this game, going into Champion's Demise, running in a circle, basically, killing all the mobs. Like, that's not fun. Like, don't do that. You know, if you want to do that, fine. But there's other things to do. There's so many other things to do. You don't need to be perfectly optimized to have a good time in Diablo. Who cares if you're 10 levels down? Who cares if you're 20 levels down? Because yes, you're weaker, but in my opinion, it is just a way better experience.